There's a reason I didn't. I agree with it.
Every time I work, I run the sport family. A long time ago, yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's in the 80s.
Yeah.
Pass the mic. Put in so long. That was for Mike.
It's really starting to feel better.
That was made out.
Sure. We'll repack.
All the way back.
Yeah.
Put it on the podium.
Like this?
You facing somewhere.
In all bed. Thank you so much.
Wow. No, that's covering somebody else. One more mic. One more mic.
Hold on.
Is another one? Whose is this? Test. I think somebody from this side's got to do it.
Jam it in there, just like break a couple.
No. Oh, no, that's. Whose is this?
I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
Sorry.
All right. I don't know how this was configured.
Right. It's like playing like Jenga. I don't want to like drop anything.
They all fall.
Like it's like
Got more?
It's like Jenga.
Nope. That's why I see it works. Easy.
That was when we found that was
I wonder why it's not here right now.
You have my copy.
Want to raise it up?
I was gonna do something like.
You like it? I did good, right? Yes. Did I do good? Well,
I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You can get a good shot.
Well, I was scared somebody would.
No, he wasn't at Columbia. I mean, I know. Well, I mean, not like he's telling me because that's all everyone else.
No, yeah.
And also, he's not like a very powerful. Also, there's a lot of state. Actually, they didn't. I mean, at press conference, but there wasn't actually.
What's that?
I didn't get it.
I don't know anyone over there. It wasn't really when I was like throwing Chip and Jason.
There's only press.
No one.
My name is Tony. You guys are young. You guys are the future journalists. Okay? Always tell the truth, and the world's going to be a much better place soon. You know that. Because all the old guys are going soon. They're small about it. I'm a great-great-grandfather, so I get all my young grandchildren. I'm on your side. You know what I'm saying? You guys, the future's going to be great for you guys. I'm sorry that the old guys can't mess things up.
No, it's okay. You got the time?
I'm 70. Oh, that's why, because I'm not one of them.
Are you red? Maria from the W.
Yeah, yeah, she's into it. Yeah, yeah.
right now.
Tell her I said what's up.
Hi, just wanted to ask, how long do you have to, not
Okay,
just
you
to
should move it, huh?
credit students that can't attend tonight, the show is at 9:30. How do I do that?
I'm sorry, no, I was just thinking the mic, I'm sorry. Or maybe if you can put the mic
At all?
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, no, I'd like to simply apply it to another ticket. I was told I could in fact do that one, which is, I'm a part of your, there's like, yeah, well, it's part of this like membership thing that you do with the idea that it puts you some, I forget what it's called, but it's like some premium membership or something. Hold on, I don't have that. Hold on.
Tony.
I'm gonna be here with that mic on the podium in one hand. It's double mic. Okay, then guess what? That's why I'm here. Hey, Bobby.
I think I'll do
Yes,
2 mics.
that's it, that's correct.
That's crazy.
No.
Depends how long you want.
Okay, leave it there. Adam, just do a test real quick. Just say something.
Testing 1, 2.
Ask the question.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. You got it, Bobby? Got the boom?
Okay.
Thank you, Bobby. Which one? Which one? You want to tell me, Bob?
You put your camera way up like that. Right through his head.
I think this.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
I haven't seen the Capitol Police.
Yeah, my husband, my wife. Like, they predict you up there.
Mark. Mark.
No idea. Sorry, I'm like, I don't, work things freak me out about timing, and no idea. I certainly didn't get their name.
I would
being too far
yeah,
because of the cameras
totally.
and the phone too.
Totally.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Because when he comes out, he'll be
You
good
got
shot
it.
your hand.
You got it.
Thank you so much.
How you like my neighborhood? When you left. When you left.
When he walks out. Gotcha.
Once he's on the phone, he's like, here? Okay. Yeah, that would be. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's creative. But also I'm with
Yep.
Are you guys also asking questions? Who's asking
I mean,
questions?
my friend is COVID,
You
so
asking
he
questions?
probably won't be happening. Yes.
not sure if they'd be able to.
I'm at a press conference right now.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm
We
just
don't
saying,
need that.
Imagine
getting you out of here.
I will be taking
so
some
long.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need to. Yeah. Look him in the eyes.
You'll see the massive bags under my eyes.
I'm sorry, I literally have no minutes left. I was just waiting for this action. Is there anything we can do? I know you've been on for a while. So I'm just waiting for
Oh, no, I'm just sitting it down.
the reason I called for? The reason I called. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to do that correct. That is why I called.
Oh my god. I just want to go back to my. I just want to go back.
Could you walk me through the process? Is it like my original question was how long do I have or short time to do it and how? Okay. Got it. And that's as long as I email them an hour before showtime, that'll be across the honor.
U.S. Army helicopter.
What? What's that? What's
behind me is good.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. This is very good to know. I really appreciate it. Extremely helpful, actually. In a tight spot. So it's info.cover.org, you said, right? And what time do you have to close the show?
I love it.
Perfect. I will either try to call or email by 8 o'clock.
You good?
Right?
Yeah, I'm perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this. What was your name again? In case they're like, you guys are like, who did you speak with since you asked for a name? What was yours again? Thank you so much. Honestly, it was very helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We got the Mike Johnson press conference here. There's my fellow. Okay. So I'm going to stay on. We're going to have really been working hard on those different secret stars, getting that human perspective, which is awesome.
Can you give us a heads up when you
And that we always try to be accurate and
Who's giving us that up?
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I know that she doesn't.
Tony.
no, I'll tell you.
You put that on Facebook, I'm gonna come looking for you.
Oh no, I saw she dropped some rain. Don't worry. Yeah. Can't wait.
Yep.
They should come out with umbrellas and make it a show.
Come on.
Well, he's meeting someone inside.
What's that?
He's apparently meeting someone inside, which is now.
15 minutes ago.
So soon. Really? No, I just thought you
said, why is he doing it?
Oh, he's coming here because
It's actually a pleasure.
because of the
I
capital.
understand that, but I may,
Happy birthday.
she came
She came.
today.
Not today. She came yesterday. No, not yesterday. Yesterday or the day before.
I'm not even really desired.
I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that. Are you going to expect a perfect comment no matter what? Are you going to expect a perfect comment no matter what? It's your brand. We have to upkeep it. Put like and phone man. Remind everyone else.
Everybody lean in. Everybody in the front.
Yes, everybody whose hands are outside the rail.
Hi, that person, hi.
It's I know they're not taking it, but everything is coming out.
Heads up.
Somebody tap.
I know, they're changing.
So, thank you all for being here today. We have several members of Congress here, and we're here today at one of America's preeminent academic institutions on a very important day and a very important time. Throughout history, Columbia students have contributed to the great storybook of America's life and thought. Visionary American leaders like Alexander Hamilton and John Jay and the Jewish leader Gershom Shashis knew the self-evident truth that was at the heart of this country and once at the heart of this university, and that is that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. They should not be infringed. The founders and the great leaders who had come through this institution in the past believed in religious liberty. They believed in democracy. They believed in morality and virtue and the dignity of every human person. They believed in the free exchange of ideas, and they detested mob rule. We are standing here right now on the steps of the Low Library. In this very building right behind us, Columbia University once awarded Winston Churchill an honorary degree, and it was Churchill who said, "It is manifestly right that Jews should have a national home where they may be reunited." We believe in that principle. And today I'm here to proclaim to all those who gnash their teeth and demand to wipe the state of Israel off the map and attack our innocent Jewish students, this simple truth: neither Israel nor these Jewish students on this campus will ever stand alone. Today, Hamas issued an endorsement statement of the protesters on this campus. They called them the future leaders of America. It is detestable. All of this has to be said because the cherished traditions of this university are being overtaken right now by radical and extreme ideologies. They place a target on the backs of Jewish students in the United States and here on this campus. A growing number of students have chanted in support of terrorists. They have chased down Jewish students. They have mocked them and reviled them. They have shouted racial epithets. They have screamed at those who bear the Star of David. Enjoy your free speech. They've told Jewish students who wear the Star of David to leave the country. And shamefully, some professors and faculty have joined the mobs. Things have gotten so out of control that the schools canceled in-person classes, and now they've come up with this hybrid model where they will discriminate against Jewish students. They are not allowed to come to class anymore for fear of their lives, and it's detestable. As Columbia has allowed these lawless agitators and radicals to take over, the virus of anti-Semitism is spread across other campuses. By some counts, as many as 200 universities have a similar form of protest right now. At Yale, a Jewish student was stabbed in the eye with a Palestinian flag and 45 students were arrested. At NYU, pro-Hamas protesters were shouting from the river to the sea. Anti-Israel encampments are popping up at universities all across this country. The madness has to stop. The madness has to stop. We just left a meeting with students, Jewish students, who told us of the heinous acts of bigotry that they have experienced simply because of their faith. Their bravery is inspiring, much more inspiring than some of the activities we're seeing here. And they should never have to confront such hate on an American college campus. It's such a revered institution. Anti-Semitism has been growing in America, and it's clear why. Powerful people have refused to condemn it, and some have even peddled it themselves. From university professors to public officials, people in positions of authority have denied the horrific facts of September 11, 2001, the attacks on the United States that happened right here in New York City, and they've attempted to excuse or to ignore the barbaric attack of Hamas in Israel on October 7, 2023, where Israeli women and children were savagely raped and murdered, and infants were cooked in ovens. Crowds of radical activists have chanted death to America and on our own streets in this country, and sub-public officials have refused to condemn them. Others have openly defended these acts on campus and the harassing and the intimidation and the threatening of innocent Jewish students simply because of who they are. They've called that peaceful protest, and some have even gone as far as calling for the state of Israel to be eliminated. These are words we expect from Ayatollahs in Iran, not American lawmakers and not American students. And unsurprisingly, it has given way to threats and violence in a generation of students who feel safe in their own classrooms, who don't feel safe in their own classrooms, or where they live or where they worship. Let me say this very simply. No American of any color or creed should ever have to live under those kinds of threats. That is not who we are in this country. Sadly, Columbia's administrators have chosen to let the threats, the fear, and the intimidation of the mob rule, to overtake American principles like free speech and the free exchange of ideas and the free exercise of religion. They have co-opted First Amendment arguments to protect genocide and to elevate the voices of anti-Semitism. They have proven themselves to be incapable of achieving their basic responsibility, which is keeping students safe. We just can't allow this kind of hatred and anti-Semitism to flourish on our campuses, and it must be stopped in its tracks. Those who are perpetrating this violence should be arrested. And I'm here today joining my colleagues and calling on President Shafiq to resign if she cannot immediately bring order to this chaos. As Speaker of the House, I am committing today that the Congress will not be silent as Jewish students are expected to run for their lives and stay home from their classes hiding in fear. In the House of Representatives, we've already acted to address anti-Semitism on campuses. We have passed a number of statutes to address this matter, and we call upon the U.S. Senate to act upon our legislation. I have a couple of my colleagues here that I'd like to share a few words. I'll turn it over first to the chair of the House Education and Workforce Commission, Virginia Foxx, Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, North Carolina. Virginia?
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Columbia University is in a free fall. Following the explosion of this anti-Semitism, the Education and Workforce Committee started investigating. So far, the committee has uncovered key failures in the administration's response to the anti-Semitic attacks and displays embroiling this campus. First, President Shafiq presented false testimony to the committee regarding the removal of Professor Joseph Basad. No action was taken. In addition, the administration has suspended 2 Jewish students for a made-up chemical attack. So I have a message, President Shafiq, and a message for you all too. The inmates are running the asylum.
That's right.
Take back control of this once great institution. You took action last week. It's time to act again. If not, the committee will pursue every possible avenue to create a safe learning environment for Jewish students. I yield back.
Next is Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis from here in New York.
Welcome to New York City.
Yes, indeed.
Well, thank you very much for coming today. I'm so happy to welcome the Speaker to New York City, and we appreciate his leadership and coming here to condemn the anti-Semitism that has been allowed to fester on this campus. We just met with a group of students who told us that not only have they been bullied, but they've been, many of them, assaulted. They have been spat on. They have had to walk the halls of this campus to see swastikas painted. These are clear examples of anti-Semitism, and it's shocking to see that it's happening in the most diverse and welcoming city in America. It is truly outrageous, and it's clear that the president of this university cannot control the campus. She cannot and will not hold students who are doing these types of anti-Semitic activities accountable, and that she cannot keep the students who are of Jewish faith, who have paid a lot of money and have worked very hard to get to an Ivy League institution like this, that she cannot keep them safe. And that is why I join my colleagues in calling for her resignation. Thank you.
Next, another congressman from New York, Anthony D'Esposito.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you are a protester on this campus and you are proud that you've been endorsed by Hamas, you are part of the problem. When you cheer on the fact that you enjoy Hamas and Hezbollah, you are yourself part of the problem. Mr. Speaker, I am proud to join with you here today in calling for the immediate resignation of the President of Columbia. She has failed her duty. She is not keeping students safe. And we see on this campus the hate-filled speech that is carrying through this country.
Another New York congressman, Mike Lawler.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for being here in New York. I want Palestinians to be free, too, from their oppressor, Hamas. And every single one of you students that support Hamas are an absolute abomination. It is shameful, shameful that you would support a terrorist organization that butchered and beheaded and burned innocent women, children, and babies. I went to Israel a month after the attack on October 7th, and I watched a 21-minute unedited video, raw footage of the attack. I watched exactly what Hamas did, and sadly here in America, we have students endorsing the butchering and brutality of a terrorist organization. If you want a ceasefire, the fastest way for a ceasefire to occur is for Hamas to surrender and to release the hostages. And if you can't call for that, you are a pathetic embarrassment to this institution and to students everywhere. It is time for President Shafiq to resign in disgrace. She has lost control of this campus. She has lost control of this institution. And after listening to her comments inside, it is clear that she has no intention of getting this university under control and ensuring the safety and well-being of every student. That is what is entitled to students attending this institution. If the students are not safe, if the institution will not act, Congress has a responsibility to do so, and we will.
I want to thank my colleagues for sharing their thoughts here. I want to say this as well. At the start of the American Revolution, the doors of this institution, once known as King's College, were closed. When the war ended, the institution reopened and was renamed Columbia College. It was a shift from the tyranny of the monarchy to the freedom at the heart of the American experiment. And now the forces of hatred and oppression once again are on the march. They've begun to try to close Columbia's doors to a segment of students. To every Jewish student listening to us, no matter where you are around the country, You have my word. The U.S. House of Representatives will do everything in our power to ensure that you are safe, you can freely practice your faith, and you can go to school, just like everybody else. We will punish those who have allowed this violence and bigotry to go unchecked. With that, I'll take a few questions.
Mr. Speaker,
What about the anti-Zionist Jews in the camp celebrating Shabbat?
We met briefly with the president and her top officials right before we came out on the steps here. We encouraged her to take immediate action and stamp this out. And our feeling is that they have not acted to restore order on the campus. This is dangerous. This is not free expression. This is not First Amendment. They are threatening, intimidating, saying that they will take violence upon Jewish students. We met with Jewish students who are in fear. They can't come on campus. They can't study for their final exams. This affects everybody's lives, and it affects the image that we portray to the world. This is not who we are as Americans, and it's time to act like it.
Speaker, have you spoken to the president about bringing in the National Guard? A number of senators have done that. Are you urging the president to do that as well?
My intention is to call President Biden after we leave here and share with him what we have seen with our own two eyes and demand that he take action. There is executive authority that be appropriate. If this is not contained quickly, and if these threats and intimidation are not stopped, there is an appropriate time for the National Guard. We have to bring order to these campuses. We cannot allow this to happen around the country. We are better than this. We are better than this, and I'll ask the president to do that, and I'll tell him that very same thing.
Speaker, what is the House going to do? So you've moved some things, you've done, what is your plan when you get back?
The House has been investigating a number of these campuses. There is a nexus to federal funding. If these campuses cannot get control of this problem, they do not deserve taxpayer dollars. That's a very serious issue. You've seen our Education and Workforce Committee having oversight hearings. We have brought the presidents of these universities to Congress to testify under oath, and you've seen accountability begun there. There'll be much more of that. We'll continue to work on legislation to adjust this at the federal level. This Congress, and I genuinely believe there's bipartisan agreement on this, will stand for what is good and what is right. It does not matter who shouts in our faces. We're going to do what is right by America. We respect free speech. We respect diversity of ideas. But there is a way to do that in a lawful manner, and that's not what this is.
Mr. Speaker,
So there are students, some of the student organizers are part of a group called Jewish Voices for Peace. There are Jewish students who held a press conference yesterday saying that they faced more anti-Semitic attacks from Jewish students, from Israeli students, than from the group that is in the encampment. So how do you respond to the fact that they say
I'm not sure who the aggressors are, but I will tell you that any of that is inappropriate. It's lawlessness. It's chaos. That is not who we are. We believe in the rule of law. That is one of the foundational principles of America, and it must be maintained. The college campus used to be the place for respectful debate, for the differences of opinion and the free marketplace of ideas to be discussed. That is not what is happening here. You're intimidating and shouting down people you disagree with. You cannot censor and silence viewpoints you disagree with. That is not American. You do not understand what it means to respect the First Amendment. Yes.
What is your message to the students inside the encampment right now?
My message to the students inside the encampment is go back to class and stop the nonsense. Look, if we want to have a debate on campus about the merits of these things, let's do that. But you can't intimidate your fellow students and make them stay home from class. Think about that. Is that right? Do you think that's right? Stop wasting your parents' money, Congressman Lawler says. I think that's right.
Mr. Speaker,
Last
what about
one.
the anti-Zionist Jews inside the camp that are celebrating Shabbat?
I don't know who's in that camp over there, but I would tell you that this is unacceptable, and the American people are demanding accountability for it. And that's why we made the trip here today. That's why this press conference is important. We want this administration and the administration of every university campus around the country to bring this to account and to bring this lawlessness to an end. And that's what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somewhere more, there is a mine somewhere.
Here it's taped. Did you get your question answered? Yes. He didn't. He gave me like a non-answer. Excuse me. Respond to me. Thank you. Good man. Yeah, I gotta get my.
I'm trying to understand.